Still regarded as
Shalom, 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 shalom. As always, first I want to go with the praises and the glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Yahweh is the name of the Most High God, the Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's lucky. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to my fellow Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters that are in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and to the 144,000 that are out there amongst the mixed multitudes. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. All praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, this lady's name is Catherine Austin Fitz. Now, she's been on the scene for a very, very long time talking about the central bank digital currency, the microchip, the central bankers. She's been speaking about this for probably 20 odd years regarding what the elites, the Illuminati, the bankers, the central bankers are planning and what their end goal is in terms of their total control of the global population, which she always makes it quite clear. The digital currency and the central bank digital currency is the foundation, the groundwork that's going to lead us to the microchip, right? The MOTB, aka the mark of the beast. So she was at this massive church organization the other day called Outreach Church. It's a World Outreach Church. It's a massive church organization in the USA. She was there 13 days ago, doing a speech and letting the people know exactly what's going on. You see, Nate, Bishop Nathaniel, I didn't mean to go to you, but I'm going to have to go to you. You want to go on a whistle stop tour? Well, this is the type of whistle stop tour you should be going on, warning the people about what's really coming, not telling them that Gog and Magog's going to happen in 1,000 years' time. You like going on whistle stop tours, Bishop Nathaniel. So this is what you should be doing. You should be doing exactly what Catherine Austin Fitz is doing and warning the massives about the mark of the beast, the microchip. So without any further ado, I want you to listen to what she's got to say.
So I want to play you 3 videos because the wonderful thing about the bankers, the central bankers, a lot of nice bankers in this room, of which I'm one, but what the central bankers would like to do is institute total central control, and the wonderful thing about them is they will tell you what they're going to do before they do it. It's unbelievable. It's almost a demonic practice, if you notice it. So I'm going to play you 3 videos, and I'm going to introduce them each briefly. If you go to my website at Solari.com, we have a panel that says Financial Transaction Freedom and CBDC Shorts. CBDC is Central Bank Digital Currency, because I'm a great believer in short videos, even though sometimes you and I make long videos. Anyway, so the first short video I'm going to show you is only 55 seconds. It is Augustine Carstens, the head of the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of central banks in Basel, Switzerland. And in 55 seconds in October of 2020, in an IMF panel on cross-border transactions, he decided to do something you rarely see a central banker do, let alone one from the BIS, tell you in 55 seconds what they're really planning. So if we could have the first video, Augustine Carstens from the BIS.
Our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those 2 issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
Okay, so let me just explain what he said. What he said is they can program your money and it's not your money. They call it their expression of central bank liability as opposed to your money. What they can do is if they don't want your money working more than 5 miles from your home, it won't work more than 5 miles from the home. If they don't want you buying pizza, you can't buy pizza. Unless you think that I'm really making this up, I want to show you my second video, which is Bo Lee, he's a deputy director of the IMF, describing the programmability of money. Okay, so let's run the second video.
And finally, the third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contract, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized. For example, for food. So this potential programmability can help government agencies to precisely target their support to those people who need support. So that way can also improve financial inclusion.
So that means if they don't want you eating fresh food, they can mandate, using financial transaction control, that you have to eat insects and lab-grown meat. That's what we're talking about. Okay, the last one is Richard Werner, arguably the top academic scholar in the world on central banking. Richard and I were together in Malmö, Sweden last year in May of 2022, and he told a story about central bank digital currency based on his communications and his meeting with one of the top central bankers of Europe. So let's play the third.
It's possible that even if you have to have CBDC in some form, that you're not destroying the banking system if you do it the way China is doing it. Now you have to remember, China only recently introduced their banking system, and it seems they were not willing to already give it up. They have already CBDC. It's still a pilot project, but it's introduced, among millions of people already. But it was introduced on purpose in such a way that it would not harm the banking system, and therefore is a more truthful sort of update of the old paper money. But of course, it still has the control aspect. So at least it's not killing the banking system. The way they do this is by requiring you to have a bank account in order to get CBDC. So it's not a direct account at the central bank. It's only through your bank that you can get it. You see how simple that is, and of course could be done over here, but they're not discussing it say the ECB is not discussing it, because you see their agenda is to get rid of banks. But this alternative exists. But then, of course, the key problem is this control aspect, which at the moment they haven't stepped up in China, but that can be introduced any time. And that, of course, is a concern. Also, they never talk about the nature of this CBDC. What is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this, and they showed him. And he's a top executive director of another central bank in Europe, and there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
Right.
And of course, that has other implications on top of what we've mentioned, on top of the control aspects, because that actually enters your body, in my view, violates human dignity, and can be then used for, even in terms of functionality, beyond the monetary and economic transaction purposes. So highly dangerous, and definitely something we have to oppose. And so using cash is one of the things we can do to make sure that it will be, the hurdle will be higher for the central planners to introduce the CBDC.
So Richard Werner on Malmo, Sweden last year, if for anybody who's watched any of the World Economic Forum presentations that they do online, we've seen telecommunications executives often talking about this technology. I don't know whether you've seen it. Okay, so let's bring up the PowerPoint.
So, as you can quite clearly see, Catherine Austin Fitz understands and knows exactly what the New World Order, the central bankers, the bankers have in store for the global population when it comes to this control via the digital currency, via a microchip. Now, she's on a whistle-stop tour of all the churches in the US, most of them central churches. She's gone on a whistle-stop tour. This place she was at, as you can see, 13 days ago, right? Today is November the 15th, 2023. So she was at this place, the World Outreach Church, on November the 2nd, and November the 3rd, just literally 2 weeks ago. As I say again, IUIC, Bishop Nate, you like going on whistle-stop tours in all of these churches and countries. Well, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be going on a whistle-stop tour, speaking the truth when it comes to the microchip and the mark of the beast. And every other prophecy that you keep breaking down, upside down, back to front. Well, as we can see here, she knows this is Bible prophecy. She can see it, she knows it. She's not a preacher, she's not a prophet, but she can see it, she knows it. And she's just out there bringing what her knowledge, her 2 cents to the table to warn the people that this place is packed. If I show you the place that she's in, right? Just to show the place that she's in. Hold on. So you can see. This place is completely packed, family. You're going to see. I mean, this preacher, he's obviously invited her there because he must know that the microchip is the mark of the beast. But look, this is where she's at in this auditorium here, right? Because this is where we're at. Just like the war of Gog and Magog, we're at this point of Gog and Magog. We're also at the point of the mark of the beast being introduced on a global level. And this is what people need to take note of. We are in the latter days of the latter days of the latter days. This is it, family. We're just waiting for this last major prophecy, this microchip, to pop off. Once that pops off globally, that's it. As we always told you, that's when the nukes can come at any point after that. So she's doing a righteous thing there by going out and letting them warn in the public of, whether they want to hear or whether they want to forbear. Like I said, she's not a prophet, she's not a teacher. She has the appearance of an Edomite, and she could be she more likely is an Israelite because she can see it. She can see what's going on, what's happening. But she's doing a righteous thing, but it's not going to be able to stop because it's Bible prophecy. And sometimes, so what she's doing by warning the people is good. It's a beautiful thing. But I believe she understands as well that she can't stop it, but she can warn them. So they can say that they didn't hear, they didn't know that you've been warned what this is all about. This is about taking total control. Total control. So let me just bring out a couple scriptures. That's right, boy. For many are called, but few are chosen. That's the spirit. For many are called, but few are chosen. All right. For many are called, but few are chosen. Trying to think of the right scripture I wanted to bring out here. So she can see what these bankers are planning. She understands that the mark is the microchip, and she, like I said, that Richard Werner, he's one of the top. She said he's like a banking consultant advisor in the banking industry, in the central banking industry. He knows so much about what's going on. So I'm also bring out a couple scriptures here. I didn't really want to spend long on this. Psalms 49. It's another warning to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Psalms 49, verse 1. Hear this, all you people. Give ear, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open up my dark sayings upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? Because when the microchip goes global, it's going to be the days of evil. When iniquity of my hills shall compass me about. They that trust in their wealth, listen carefully, right? That's what like IUIC, they trust in their wealth, right? And boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give the Most High to a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever. Well, praises to Yahweh Hashem El Shai. So we got to put our trust in the Lord when this, long time since I brought out this scripture, 13 and 16, but the Spirit has brought me to today. We got to trust in the Lord for when this goes global, the mark, and it causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. What did King David say here? He said, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom. This is what I'm speaking, wisdom. And the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding, right? That's my mind, the meditation of my mind, right? I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open up my dark sayings upon the harp. So we've opened up these dark sayings, these prophecies to you, what they mean. So when John the Revelator saw this, he saw people being microchipped in the end times, which we are living in today. And it causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. A long time since I went to the scripture, boy, because we've been focusing on so many other prophecies, boy, and defending the gospel to the max, the brothers. And remember, the word mark is charagma. Just to remind you once again.
Strong's G 5480, charagma. Charagma.
A stamp, an imprinted mark. That imprinted mark is going to be the microchip, all right? And that no man might buy or sell. What did she say? It's all about controlling what you can buy or sell once the whole system goes digital, which is where it's going. They're all creating their digital currencies. You must know this by now. Save he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. What did King David say? My mouth shall speak of wisdom. This is wisdom that we are showing you. Her mouth is speaking of wisdom. What she's speaking on is wisdom. What she's speaking on. Yeah, up on the big screen. What she's speaking of is wisdom. She's speaking wisdom to the audience. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart, which is my mind, shall be understanding. Here is wisdom. Let him that has that's the spirit of the Alba Shibya. Let him that has understanding count. Let him that has understanding, what King David say, my mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart, which is your mind, in the Hebrew that's lahab, shall be of understanding. You understand? Let him that has wisdom, that has understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666. And as we always go into it, Kai Stai Stigma, we just do this for edification, right? 666. This will give you the root meaning.
Strong's G 5516, Chai, Ksai, Stigma. Chai, Ksai, Stigma.
When we go to the root of the word, Kai Stai Stigma, stigma.
Strong's G 4742, Stigma. Stigma.
What does it say, family? To stick i.e. to prick. A mark pricked or branded upon the body. To the ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers. That's what's going to happen. The slaves are those are going to take on the mark, and the soldiers, those that are fully signed up to the system, that work through the civil offices, that are civil servants to the system. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked or cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. Because what's their gods? Their god is this money. Their gods is this money, and the so-called white man is like a god to these people. They think this so-called white man is like a god to them. So this is where it's all going. It's as simple as that. So this is why it says, let him. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, which is what the mark of the beast is going to be, when the iniquity of my heel shall come past me about. So they're getting fully ready to get this fully on board, family. It's truly coming. So I just really wanted to bring that to the forefront. Like I said, I wasn't going to spend too long on it. I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Another reminder, another, news flash again, reminder to let you know, boy, that this thing is coming. It's happening. It's absolutely happening. All right? Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises. All praises.